Welcome back. Today we're exploring a plugin that's all about adding some vintage warmth to your tracks, the Ableton Vinyl Distortion plugin. Let's get right into it. So this plugin is usually used to add a level of warmth and character to your tracks. There's a couple of alternatives to this, such as the Isotope plugin. There's a couple different sections in this plugin that are worth noting. The first one that's the easiest to understand and the one people usually reach for most often is the crackle section right here on the right side of the plugin. I have an operator here on my audio chain, and by turning up the volume of crackle, you'll hear a vinyl distortion, and this is continual. When you turn up this volume, it's always outputting audio. As you can see here, there's nothing coming in on the left side of the plugin, but it is now producing sound and outputting on the right side. And this crackle just simulates that of a normal needle on a record hitting a couple pieces of dust or dirt that's on the vinyl record, and is the one people most usually reach for when they want to add this to their track. Usually what you do is you just add this to your own MIDI track with nothing else on it. You're outputting some vinyl sound on this. The rest of the plugin gets a little bit more complex in what it's able to do, and is to simulate harmonic distortion and also adding additional harmonics to the track to simulate that of a sound being played off of a record. So looking at these two sections are the tracing model and the pinch section. Let's start with the tracing model up top. And in order to hear these, you usually have to play with the note. You can hear it start to distort harmonically the operator sound that I'm playing with. This frequency box can also be used if you click it and drag up and down to move it around. And then this controls how far of the spectrum is affected. With more or less being applied here. So you can get pretty subtle with that. So you can see the X and Y coordinate on this of the tracing model as the color being added to the track. And some other plugins like RC20 will have like a color knob. This is essentially what that plugin is doing. It's adding harmonic distortion to a certain range of frequencies. The pinch effect section will add harmonics to the input signal, not distortion, but it will actually add a level of harmonics. You can hear it there spiking the signal. These harmonics, according to the manual, occur 180 degrees out of phase. This will actually spread the signal in a stereo width, which is the default. It's soft and stereo. Soft most closely resembles a dub plate, while hard will resemble an actual vinyl record. If you don't want it to add this harmonics to the stereo field, you can also choose mono, and you can hear it flip there. And much like the tracing model above, the same exact controls apply here. This turns it on or off. This controls how much is applied. And then this is the frequency, and this is like the Q value, like you would have in the EQ8, which controls the range of frequencies impact. This drive knob, there's a single drive knob here that controls the amount for both tracing and pinch. So that's important to note. You can hear a slight difference if we go to the hard. It's almost like a softer level of harmonics to the signal, while soft is more drastic. So if you play with these a little bit, you can certainly hear. Let's do another one. A certain level of character added to the output signal. So vinyl distortion will add a very minor amount of character to the output signal. Add some crackle in there. Maybe not as much. So as you can see, this plugin is a very easy way to add a little bit of color and character. It doesn't have as many knobs and changes as other character plugins like RC20, but being stock in Ableton, this is extremely useful. I've used it many, many times. Mainly what I'll do is I'll turn off both of these. And like I said, I'll put this on a MIDI track and I'll just have this sitting there, generating an output signal that I can control independently. Maybe add some other effects onto this. Play around with something like the amp plugin here after Vinyl Distortion, and that makes for some interesting combinations. That's about it for the Vinyl Distortion plugin. Very simple plugin, but pretty useful for adding some character to your tracks. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and check the link at the end of the video to the playlist, including all of the plugins I've reviewed so far. And have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video.